Hey, welcome back to the Big Ranch Show. As always, thank you for joining me. If you could, hit the subscribe button down below and let's get right to it. Now, this won't be much of a rant. It's actually kind of over some good news that happened, a big step forward in what I see is a big step forward in space exploration. And of course, I'm talking about the big thing of the last week, which was SpaceX launching their Falcon 9 heavy rocket with a very special payload. In the payload was the founder of SpaceX, Elon Musk's very own Tesla. It was this little, cherry red looking Tesla, and they put a little thing they call Starman, little like robot dummy type person in the driver's seat, with a thing on the LCD saying "Don't panic," and it looked really cool. It was fun. It was fun to watch the rocket, launch. I'd waited for a long time to see that particular rocket go up because it's a big step forward. It could mean a lot of stuff for being able to send equipment and stuff to the space station and even people in the future. But it could also help in the future exploration of places like Mars and other interplanetary areas, places we could go visit. A trip back to the moon or, a trip to Mars, things like that. And so this is a really big thing that took place. Now, there's been a lot of people out there, saying, oh, it was fake, 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 fake. Well, not everything is fake. Just because you don't see stars in the distance when you're watching a video of something in space doesn't mean it's fake. It means you can't see the stars because of where you're located. If you're, especially with that car, for example, that car is well lit. They had a light on it until, the video feed on it until the video camera battery died out. And so for all y'all out there saying it was fake, come on, get a life. I don't think Elon Musk would have wasted billions of dollars investing in space exploration if it was all fake. I just don't think he would have, because he's taken a loss on it, a major loss on a lot of what's gone on over the last few years. Heck, and with all the money he's using to try and improve Tesla and improve SpaceX, he's losing money. So I don't believe Elon Musk would sit there and fake anything just to get one over on you. If this was NASA, maybe I could be like, well, maybe NASA pulled a fast one on you or whatever. But to those out there that think that this is fake, you probably think the moon landing was fake as well, when we wouldn't have had the technology even to have pulled it off back in the moon landing. So back in the time of the moon landing, we wouldn't have had the technology to make it look like it did. We just didn't have it. It would have required a lot more. From what I have read and what I have seen, it would have taken more work to have faked it than to have actually sent someone to space with the technology that was available at the time. Now, that's neither here nor there. You think this is fake, just get a life. Another thing it kind of showed was this was a private enterprise sending a camera into space, once again showing that the Earth is not flat, that the Earth is definitely a spherical shaped object. And it kind of disproved the flat earthers once again. And this time they can't sit there and say, oh, NASA did this or NASA did that. NASA did some kind of trick photography. Nope. It was all done by Elon Musk and SpaceX. And he didn't use any kind of special camera to film anything. So, more proof that I don't think it was fake, and that flat earthers need to find something else new to work on. Lastly, though, I think this is a huge step forward for SpaceX, a huge step forward for everything involved. I think it's just amazing to see what private enterprise can do. I'm not one to believe that the government should have no work in the science space or in space exploration. But I think it is great to see, when private enterprise, especially an immigrant to this country, can sit there and go from having almost, to being not being super rich to being, a billionaire I think that is really amazing. I think that is a great thing. I think that shows you that America is great, that we don't have to make America great again, that America already is great. And I think it proves it time and again. Every time somebody that comes over here with nothing and forms a huge business and becomes a billionaire or a millionaire out of it, I think that shows a lot for what we do here in America. I think it's a really big thing. I think it has to do with a lot of good stuff that goes on around here. Now, we have our issues here in America. Don't get me wrong. I agree that we do have our issues. But I think something like this shows that our private enterprises can do a lot of good, and help society and help the country and the world. I think it's what this proves. Now, for a few more details on the SpaceX launch. Of course, they launched this Tesla Roadster into space with Starman sitting there at the wheel, and that's really cool. But shortly after it launched, a few things went wrong. One, first the two side boosters, they landed no problem, but apparently the main core of the rocket, which they didn't intend on reusing anyway, but apparently upon reentry it didn't land properly. It didn't make it to the drone ship properly, and they've already recovered that. But apparently it didn't land properly, so they're going to have to work on making sure the landings work out properly. But also, he said after the last boost of energy to send the spaceship towards Mars, or not spaceship, but the Tesla Roadster towards Mars, it apparently shot it past in a trajectory that he thought at the time was going to put it into the asteroid belt. Upon further analysis from NASA and other private scientists and astrophysicists and things like that, apparently they don't believe that the Tesla Roadster will make it to the asteroid belt, but they do believe it'll create an orbit kind of, around the sun and everything for a while anyway, until that kind of degrades and it, does whatever it ends up doing. And some scientists say that, the claim that this car will, orbit for a billion years, they say it's not likely. They say that radiation from the sun, as it's going to be traveling around the sun, will hit it, will degrade the parts, and sooner or later it'll just disintegrate and fall apart over time. Now, I hope that's not the case. I hope it's able to hold up for a while anyway. Hopefully it'd be really cool, I think, in, say, 75, 80 years. I think they're saying 79 years would be the next time that maybe we would be able to actually see it from Earth once it's, in orbit and everything. I think that would be awesome for us to be able to find it when it returns, and maybe have the technology to even tow the thing back and see what damage was actually done to it, if there's anything left of it. But that's what they're saying. They're saying that it's not likely to survive all that long, a good few years, but over time it's just going to degrade because of radiation. And I think that's kind of sad, but it's a sad fact of, it's a reality. Radiation does a lot of damage to stuff, and I think us being able to bring it back at some point, if they were able to tow it back through some kind of technological advances that allow you to, actually get spacecraft out into space. I think that would be awesome. And we could see the exact, see more about what effects radiation has before we go sending out people really far off into space, like to Mars and stuff. I would love to see us go to Mars in my lifetime, though. I would love to be able to see it before this thing comes back. I'm not too sure that that's going to happen. I think going to Mars would be awesome. I think, though, it would be very dangerous, very costly. And I do believe private enterprise would have to be one of the pushing and driving forces behind that trip, because we're never going to get our government to fund that much money towards space exploration to the point that we're on Mars with people. I just don't see it happening. Anyhow, y'all have a great day. I hope you enjoyed watching the SpaceX launch the other day. I'm sorry this is boring to some of you. I found this to be very interesting. And like I said before, be sure to hit up the Gimp with the Camera channel. I'll be starting a new vlog over there called Old Town Vlogs. Go ahead and subscribe now. That way you don't miss anything. I plan to at least post something as of February 15th, we'll see exactly what that is over the coming days, depending what weather we get here in East Texas. Right about now, we kind of start our rainy season, so we will see what we get. Anyhow, y'all have a great day. I'll see you down the road. And to all the new subscribers, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching. I wouldn't be able to keep putting out these videos without subscribers and everything. And y'all have a great day. See you down the road.